Today we're out in the garage. We got working on a few projects, and one of them is to start changing out this traveler winch that's broken on the back of this John Deere Tractor. So we broke this 2,500 pound traveler winch, moving the shed across the yard. The winch still works. The cable or the synthetic rope is perfect, except the drum broke, which then ruined the rope. So we've got to change this winch out. When looking for a replacement winch, I originally just went down to Tractor Supply. I was going to buy a new Traveler 2,500 pound winch, which has been fantastic for the 10 years or so that I've owned it. The only thing I've ever had to do is replace the cable when it broke, which is what led me to install the synthetic line. So I went down to Tractor Supply. I was going to buy another winch. It's not available with a synthetic line. You can get it with steel cable only, which I didn't want. I wanted synthetic. It even says it right on the box on the Traveler 2,500 pound, not synthetic rope compatible. I don't know why or what that means exactly, but that tells me that you can't get that winch with a synthetic line. So then I was going to go to Harbor Freight and get a 2,500 pound winch that they have, but that also comes with a steel cable, or steel cable, and but I wanted synthetic rope. You can buy synthetic rope at Harbor Freight and then change it over, but I didn't want to go through the hassle. Plus, for me to get down to Harbor Freight, it's a 45-minute drive. So 45 down, 45 back, half hour there. It's 2 hours out of my day that I just can't ever seem to find time to do anything. So I ended up buying a 3,000 pound XBull winch that comes with everything that I needed. So this is the XBull winch. It's 3,000 pounds. It comes already spooled up with synthetic line. As you can see, it's got the 3,000 pound rating right there. And then it comes with a remote, a wireless remote, which the Badlands winch had, but this one's a nice little bonus, I guess. It's got the control box for the winch, and then this one also comes with a rocker style switch that I'm going to be able to mount up near the operator's position on the tractor. And then there's this little fair lead that goes on there. So, and then a hook, and then it comes with all the hardware and a mounting plate and all that. So the XBull winch checked all the boxes for me. It was a 3,000 pound winch and not a 2,500, so we kind of improved that. It already had the synthetic line, so that was a good thing. It's got the operator's position controller, which is fantastic, and then it also comes with the remote. So it's a matter of going on to online, ordering it. It showed up here the next day, and yeah. So out of convenience, I bought an XBull winch. So today we're going to work on getting this winch off of this tractor, and then we'll see where the day takes us. I got a couple of little projects going on, but I got my helper here, Echo James. Echo's going to be 4 years old, 4-year-old purebred German Shepherd. Fantastic dog. And he always likes helping out on projects. So let's get started. Apparently when I installed this, I was trying to be fancy, and I got some stainless steel metric hardware. Of course, it's not coming off that great, but I'm going to try an impact gun, a socket, extension with a swivel. So let's see how this goes. All right, that came off pretty easily. Ended up having to get the impact gun out, but no problem. All right, so we compare these two. They're both about the same weight, both about the same size, and pretty much everything is exactly the same. These are these are hexagon shaped, these are round. The drum's the same size, and then the cable release on the Traveler is like this, and then it's like that on the XBull. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, these winches are almost identical. These winches are almost identical. The sticker's worn off of this one, but yeah. Boy, if they're not made from the same company, if they're not assembled at the same factory, boy, they sure do look a lot the same. So, all right, this looks like it's going to go on here pretty easily. Even the bolt holes for the winch match up. Not really going to be a lot of drama here to install this. The only thing that we're going to have to do on this XBull that we didn't have to do on the Traveler, because the Traveler, this was the controller for the Traveler. So had the in and out buttons. It was pretty big and clunky, and the XBull has the remote, and it also has the operator's position switch. So we've got to come up with a way to mount. We've got to come up with a way to mount the controller box. Actually, I think I'll mount the winch up first, and then we'll worry about the control box. So the unit comes with all this hardware. Looks like there's more than enough to mount this thing. So, and like I said, the holes almost match up perfectly. Actually, they do match up perfectly. So we'll go ahead and get these installed. All right, both bolt holes lined right up, so we'll go ahead and get those tightened right up. Alright, we'll go ahead and get the fair lead bolted on. Got the fair lead on, we got the rope strung through. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and we'll get the control box mounted, we'll get the wiring mounted, and maybe we'll have this thing operational tomorrow. So I'm done for today, but we'll get working on it tomorrow. All right, I'm back out here working on the winch for the tractor. Same day. Got home a little bit ago, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to mount this control box, and I think I have an okay way of doing it. Some might say it's cheating, but I don't have a welder and I don't have any material to make a bracket, so I think I got a solution. So this piece of steel right here is welded on each side of this ballast box. I got the winch bolted to it, and that's where all the pulling happens. So I'm thinking of mounting this box right here. I've got to put this blue cable to that terminal, this yellow cable to that terminal. This is the control for the operator's position, and then these are the wires that are going to go to the tractor. Now I've got another one of these connectors, and we're going to go do that at a later point, but it just seems sensible to mount it here. There's mounting holes, there's one there, and there's one here on the other side, but I really would like to weld a plate on here and then screw it down, but like I said, I don't have a welder currently, and I don't have a material to make that mounting plate. So in the interim, I've come up with the we'll call it the poor man's way of mounting this box, but I think it's going to be I think it'll be legit. All right, so I'm gonna use zip ties. I know it's kind of a cobby way of doing it, but I think it's going to hold it pretty securely. And I've got other plans for this weight box, and I just don't have them finalized in my head yet. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, but until I can figure out exactly, this seems like it will work nicely for what I need to do. My other helper just showed up, Lucy Lou. Where are you? Come here. Hey, this is Lucy. Lucy is also a purebred German Shepherd, and she's 2 years old. 2 years, 4 months, I think. So. Okay. I think that's going to work out okay. Might be a little bit cobby, but I think for what I'm trying to do, it's fine. My goal right now is to just get this winch on the tractor for winter. It's really only on here to pull logs. It's on here to get me unstuck when I get stuck in the wintertime and going with. But for right now, this will probably be one of those temporary permanent installations for this box. All right, it's been a couple days since I've been out here working on this winch project. Tonight we're gonna put that plug onto the wiring for the winch. Okay, so this is the wire that comes from the tractor. I put this plug on it so that I can unplug the winch when I take the weight box off. So I've got to add the other receptacle to this so that it plugs in there. And so the way I do that is I'm going to strip these wires back, and then I'm going to solder these lugs on that come with the plug. I'm going to use this solder here. We'll just heat this up, put some solder in there, push the wire in, and then let it cool down, and that should be a solid connection that will never come apart. Okay, let's get started. Okay, that went pretty quick. I'm going to let them cool down just a little bit. We'll wrap a little bit of tape around that just because, and we'll go ahead and put that plug together. Okay, that was super easy. We'll go ahead and get the two wires installed on the winch itself. Okay, so at this point we should have power to the winch. I'm going to go ahead and grab the remote and see if it works. Okay, to turn the controller on, you've got to push both of these buttons at the same time, and then you'll see the remote light up. Once that light comes on, we should be able to work. All right, that worked out great. That's actually quieter than the one that was on there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the operator switch, which I think is actually called a handlebar switch. I'm going to go get that, and we'll plug that in and see if that works. I have the other switch. That gets plugged into this connector right here. And I'm not sure, it has this red wire And I'm not sure. I think this might have to go to power, but there's no. It doesn't reference this in the instructions. So I'm just going to see if this works. Okay, this does not work. I'm guessing this has to go to power. So not sure how I'm going to hook that up, but for right now, my guess is, and I'm going to have to research it a little bit more, that this red wire needs to go to like a key power, ignition power type thing. So I'll go ahead and get that figured out at some point. So my plan is, once I get that figured out, to mount this operator button right here on that grab handle, and then I'll be able to plug it in to this control box, and then when I take the weight box off, I can unplug this when I unplug the power cord. But for right now, everything is working with the remote. So I'm going to rethink this a little bit, because with this remote, I guess I still need to have it, but I got to rethink this a little bit, because having this hooked up to power without having a quick connect plug, just got to think about this for a little bit. There is a cigarette lighter right here, and that switch turns it on and off. So maybe I'll take this apart, and maybe I'll take that apart and see if I can grab some power there. Okay, so the XBull 3,000 pound winch is installed and operating with the remote. We'll have to figure out that switch at a little bit later point, but for right now we are good to go. The winch is operating perfectly, and it's actually a little bit quieter than the Traveler winch, so hopefully it works as well and lasts as long. So that's it for now. Kind of a long video, but hopefully you got a little something out of it, and I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, feel free to share if you'd like, and that's it for now. So thanks for watching.